Welcome back to this video. Hopefully you've watched the first video yesterday which explained all of the process on how to analyze an unseen poem. What we're going to do in this video is have a look at the answer. So I'm going to go through my answer with you, or at least part of my answer to this question. And I'm starting off with this. Vernon Scannell uses sibilance and a diphthong to present the parent-child relationship as loving, but undermines this through the use of metaphor and structure which hint at a controlling and domineering relationship between father and son. Now this is my quite long but still one sentence introduction which just presents the line of argument. I've got sort of two parts to my argument. Part one, there is a loving relationship in the poem, but part two, there's something else more sinister, perhaps some sort of controlling or aggressive side to the relationship as well. And that's a line of argument because I would then spend about half of my answer looking at the loving relationship and the other half looking at the controlling, domineering relationship. You don't get any marks for an introduction or a conclusion, but it is an essential moment to state your line of argument before jumping into your analysis. Initially, the father-son relationship appears to be a loving one. Not only is the father comforting his son after he was stung by nettles, the poet's use of language also suggests a loving relationship. The poet's use of soothing employs both sibilance, with a soft s sound, and a diphthong, elongated vowel sound of oo, to create a soft-sounding word, suggesting a gentle and loving relationship. However, this is ultimately undermined through the poet's choice of military metaphor and structure. So what I've done in this paragraph is I've analysed the use of language, zooming in on the word soothing, and some sort of close word analysis there. And as you've probably seen in my student exemplar series, one of the big issues with a lot of students' work is that they just put about 6 different things into one paragraph. I prefer this approach, one idea per paragraph, and then we move on to the next one. Throughout the poet uses an extended military metaphor when describing the events taking place. Scannell's use of spears, regiment, parade, and recruits are seemingly out of place in a poem which has nothing to do with military conflict. However, through using this extended metaphor to describe a very common childhood moment, being stung by nettles, the poet presents a more sinister side to the relationship. These words are related to conflict and battle, perhaps suggesting the father and son were forever at war with each other. The ambiguous ending of the poem, "My son would often feel sharp wounds again," highlights the significance of the childhood relationship to the rest of the son's life. These military metaphors suggest the relationship was, and continued to be, one of conflict and battle. So what I've done here is some further analysis of language, but in this case I've looked at how the language proves the other side of my argument, a problematic side to the relationship. Now you might not agree that the military metaphors suggest conflict. It could suggest lots of different things. It doesn't really matter what you think it suggests, it's more about bringing it into your answer. So I've given some good analysis of language, but of course I want to make sure that I bring in structure. So here we go. The poet's use of structure also reinforces this idea. The poem is structured in a very tightly controlled way. Iambic pentameter, ABAB rhyme scheme, and stanzas organised into quatrains throughout. This tight level of control perhaps reflects the controlling aspect of the father's character, hinting at a possessive and controlling relationship with his son. Now what I've done here, and I think it's so important to all GCSE students, is I've looked at what is there in terms of structure, and then I've tried to apply it to the question. You see, you don't get any marks for just spotting things. This isn't, sort of device spotting. Oh, look, I've worked out the rhyme scheme. It's trying to then say, okay, how could that rhyme scheme actually mean something when it comes to what I've been asked to write about, which is the father-son relationship? That's the key bit here. The idea of a controlling relationship is further presented through the poet's choice of pronouns. The speaker refers to his child as my son and the boy. Both terms here suggest a distance in the relationship, perhaps even a level of formality, and this once again undermines the seemingly close and loving relationship presented in the poem. So a little bit more language analysis there. Now I've left this answer deliberately short. I wrote for about 15 minutes there of the 25 I might write for after 5 minutes of sort of planning, because what I would love you to do is to add your own ideas in the comment section below. Carry on the answer. This was the question, this was the poem, and you can just Google the poem if you want to see a printed copy of it yourself. What else could I have written here? In Nettles, how does the poet present the speaker's relationship with his son? Add your ideas in the comments section. I love the community of subscribers on this channel, and it is really exciting to me. Even today, we have 81,000 subscribers. So you guys have great ideas. Put your comments in the comment section below. In the next video, we're going to look at how do you compare two unseen poems, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel to watch that one tomorrow.